Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Xiao Fei. If you haven't subscribed yet, the button's down there in the corner. I'm an explorer and map maker here in Taiwan, and today I'll talk about what I do and the process of finding new places. Now we are in Yilan in northeast Taiwan, and behind me all is watermelon fields. This is part of the Lanyang River. We are going to go up this mountain here, the river, Rock River. It's actually called Rock River. 2.5 kilometers in and 300 meters up, there is a new lake, newborn baby that formed just last summer. It is less than a year old, and we're gonna go check it out. I found this lake by using satellite imagery. I regularly look through all of the new satellite imagery that comes out. You can see here that this lake is visible, and this is photographed in October 28th, 2018. We go back earlier, a month earlier, and we see the lake is still there, although it's a little smaller. And the next earliest satellite photo is the year earlier, and the lake is not formed. It is about 100 meters by 50 meters. The river up there, it goes into a fork, and on the right fork there was a major landslide, and all of those rocks are coming down and they are blocking the left fork. Take a look at this area right here, and we can see that in the next satellite photo there was a large landslide. So this chunk of rock right here came down and it covered this part of the river, blocking up the water and causing this to form. We can also see that further up the mountain between these two photos, there's also significant erosion on the larger landslide as well. I'm excited to see if it's still there, and if it turns into a persistent lake that stays for many years, or if it's just this year's it and then it's gone. Only one way to find out is to climb the mountain, so here we go. To get there, first we're gonna have to cross this river. When the water is fast like this, what you wanna do is face upriver, position your toes facing upriver, and walk at a bit of an angle downriver until you get to the other side. Water pressure is very strong, so instead of fighting it, I'm letting it push me a little bit. That makes it much easier to cross and get to the other side, and I landed exactly where I wanted to be. Red color is iron, and it usually means that there is a fresh landslide nearby. I don't know what this tractor is doing in the river. That's not a natural phenomenon. The nice thing about having all these minerals in the water is that it makes the rock much rougher and grippier and easier to cross without slipping. From here, it's just 2.5 kilometers up the river. Easy peasy. Doesn't look like there's anything particularly difficult here. Just need the stamina. There's a little road here that goes around the dams. They must have used it to build the structures. Don't have to worry about climbing up any concrete barriers, at least. You can see the iron in the rocks oxidizing. Pretty interesting. Some evidence of a sanqiang, like a kind of an antelope in the vicinity. Maybe we'll see one. This really interesting formation is about halfway up. So 1 kilometer down, 1 more to go. There's the little red color factory right there. We've already seen a few of these gas canisters around. This is for the sanshulang, the mountain rats. They come into the mountain to harvest wood, and they use the gasoline to power their chainsaw. We didn't have any hope that they had planned to bring this out later, so with much effort we managed to get a few jerry cans down the mountain and across the river to the watermelon farm. The fumes from the residual gasoline left us all with headaches and regret, though. In the big scheme of things, taking 10 kg of plastic and chemicals out of the mountains isn't making a big difference. What was the point of exposing ourselves to toxic chemicals for a few a**holes if they're just gonna do it again later? Relying on hikers and environmentalists to save the mountains from looters and poachers is not a winning strategy. What Taiwan really needs is a strong public awareness marketing campaign. There must be a different mineral in the rocks here because the river's changed color. It's no longer red, now it's more of a yellowish bluish. I think it's gotta be here. I'm a little worried. I see water, but I don't see a lake. Yo? Woohoo! Whoa! It's real! I'm not crazy! The system works! From here we can see quite clearly how the lake was formed. So that giant landslide there brought all of the rocks down, and then as the floodwaters brought all of the rocks down. They piled them up along this bank, which created a barrier for the other river behind me. So that water got backed up, and now we have that beautiful lake behind me. I'm excited, I can't wait to get in it. Wow, look at that beach down there. Next time I come here, I'm bringing a tent. Sanchang Dabian, Sanchang Dabian, Sanchang Dabian. I bet if you camp here at night, you will see a lot of wildlife. 就是快变暗的时间，他们都会出来喝水。这是另外一种大便 ，maybe 猴子或猪，我不知道。为什么猴子都会大便在那个山墙的大便上？我不知道他们的想法，还是他们是好朋友。然后就是
猴子骑着鹿。
对啊，就是。All right, so we made it to the lake. We were successful. I'm so happy about that. And now I'm going to check up the river to see if there is a waterfall there. On the satellite images, it wasn't clear. It looked like there probably isn't. So we'll just, take the first turn and just see what we can see, and then come back and have a nice swim and check the water depth. Now we can see up the river, but it doesn't look like there's going to be any waterfalls soon. If there is, it's going to be a much longer trip. For that, maybe you'd want to spend the night here. Alright, so I checked the depth of the lake. The deepest it is in the middle is about 2.2 meters, which means that this lake is at risk for disappearing. It all depends on the relative rate of sediment transfer between this river and that river. If this river is faster, it'll build up a wall here on this side and the lake will get deeper. If this river is faster, then this lake will gradually fill up with sediment, or maybe very quickly in the case of a typhoon, and that'll be the end of the lake. But for now, it's here and it's amazing. The next step is to go home and map it. Now I'll show you a little bit about that process as well. Now that I'm back home, I'm going to map out this location so that other people can visit it too. First, we go to mymaps.google.com. Then we'll create a new map. I always do everything by satellite photo because that's just how I recognize places now. And we'll go to the location where we found the lake. First, we're going to draw lines for driving, hiking, and parking. We'll give this a name. And because this road is in the riverbed, we'll put a note on there to let people know that it might not be there all year round. Now I'll make it larger and red because that's the color I signify four-wheel drive paths or roads that are not on Google Maps. Now we create an icon for parking. Now we'll draw the lines for the hike. So first we need to cross the river, then cross the river again, and then we can go up the mountain. Just before this dam, there is a road here on the side. So we can go around those dams, and then we'll go all the way up the river. It's pretty straightforward. It doesn't matter where in the river people are walking. All the way till we get to the lake. And we'll color this blue because you have to cross the river in order to get to the lake. Now at the lake, we'll create a shape for it. See that it's about 1 hectare. We don't need to be too exact here because the size and the shape of the lake will change based on the water level. Rock versus stone. What is the difference? I'm gonna look that up. The difference between rock and stone is that stone is of Germanic origin and rock is of Romance origin. They both mean the same thing. All right, now that's set up, we'll also put a marker here for a camp notification. And we'll put another one on the other side, which I think is an even better place to camp. Although you can't see it on the satellite photos, there's another place to swim right here, and so we'll add this icon to let people know there's a deep pool. And that's it. This map is pretty simple, so now we're just going to fill in the information and upload photographs. Start with up here. So this is for the camping spot. Because this is important, we'll put a special note here. Let's change this to taking a right to make it even more clear. We'll add a point here because this is the point that people need to set their GPS to in order to navigate to this location. Don't know if people will be coming from the north or the south. Okay, that looks pretty good. I won't bore you with all the little details. Now I'm just going to add more information, like all the GPS coordinates and small things about hiking, things like that. And now that the map's made, I gotta go to my website and make a page for it. Add new, rock, river, landslide, lake. I chose rock over stone because the alliteration, be really difficult for Korean people, but that's what you get for giving me 2 final exams in Korean class this semester. In Datong, it is a lake. Now we can select this map and it'll show up on the website and then it can be downloaded. For the features on the site, there is swimming, there is a lake. I'm going to call it a difficulty 2 because it doesn't require any technical skills, it's just some stamina. And we'll call that a moderate hike. There's no ropes or anything like that required. So, and there is camping available. So this is all we need, I think, for this location. Now I'll describe it. I always start my pages off the same way. Then I'll give a description of the place and a little bit about how difficult it is or easy to get there. I upload all the photos and now I'm creating 2 galleries. The first gallery is going to show the hike, and now the next gallery is going to show just photos of the lake and that little pool on the end. With this information, really that's all anybody needs in order to be able to get to the lake, so it's very important. That's why I put it down there. I also have it entered into the database, and later I'll be able to make some kind of web application that can use the GPS on your phone to help you find what's nearby. That's still some time and money away, but we're working on it. All right, now I've created a web page for it. So we have our cover image, and then we have some information about the lake. Here are the icons that I created to show the difficulty 2 and the different types of features that are there. And then I wrote a little bit about the place. Then I have some pictures of the hike, then a little more information. Although the bottom of the lake is covered in mud, the rocks under the mud are sharp, so it is recommended to wear shoes. Due to the soft ground, it's easier to enter the lake from the back side. Although we saw evidence of much wildlife around the lake, oops, that's a typo, better fix that. We did not see any fish. What we saw around the lake were, I saw blue magpie, and we saw some bird's nests for different types of birds, and heard a lot of other types of birds, and we saw 3 different kinds of large mammal droppings, so probably a sanchang, a monkey, and then maybe a deer, also possibly pigs. I'm not that familiar with the droppings. Then here at the bottom we have the information about the lake, the GPS, and the map. None of the above stuff matters. All you really need is this map, and here we can show the parking and a photo of it. Here's where you can click to navigate on your phone, to go right into your Google Maps app or whatever other maps app you're using. That's it. So I hope that this information proved useful, just to show a little bit about the process of how I discover new places and then how I turn them into maps and web pages and post them online. I hope you have the opportunity to visit Rock River Landslide Lake while it lasts. And thanks so much for watching. Please click like and subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments about this type of exploration. Thanks a lot. See you next time.